So you're going to have all of this stuff that's actually not about infrastructure, that's going to be considered infrastructure, and everyone's going to have to pay for it. Meanwhile, actual things that are infrastructure aren't going to get a single dime. So he was supposed to go out there and be the good guy. Joe Biden was supposed to go out there and be, oh, well, we're going to make sure we get this done. And whatever they do, I don't care. He's supposed to go out there to be the good guy. And instead he went out and said, no, I'll veto the damn thing. Then I guess someone from Pelosi's office got a hold of them and said, okay, that's our job to say that he's going to accept this or else. You're supposed to be the good guy because we need your coattails going into midterm elections. And so then they decided to have Psaki walk it back. Audio soundbite 9. This was just yesterday. Take a listen.
He indicated he would refuse to sign the infrastructure bill if it was sent to him without his American Families Plan and other priorities, including clean energy. That statement upset some Republicans who did not see the two plans as linked, as you all know, who are also hoping, as you all know, to defeat the Families Plan and do not want to see their support for the infrastructure plan as aiding passage of the Families Plan. As was noted in his statement, he left the impression that he was issuing a veto threat on the very plan that he had just agreed to, which was not his intent. And he wanted to make clear that was not his intent. And in the statement, he also reiterated his intention to move forward with advocating for, using the bully pulpit, making phone calls, working his heart out to get the American
I'm already done with it. So, yeah, that isn't gonna work. Not gonna work. And like I said, he just messed up and he forgot he was supposed to be the bad guy. So now he's saying, no. He wrote an op-ed because he won't have a press conference for it. He wrote an op-ed yesterday where he was promoting it in Yahoo. He says it's a deal the American people can be proud of. So he tries to act. So this is what is called triangulation. It was actually something that was really when Dick Morris was with Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was like this master triangulator, for the lack of a better way to put it. And he's trying to pretend that he's got one foot in each side, but he's above the whole thing. So he's in this editorial. He says, oh, yes, he's like, the deal is under criticism because the progressives say it's too small and Republicans are saying it's too big. And we just want something in the middle for the American people. No, that's not even in any way accurate, because I think that most Republicans are saying none of this has anything to do with infrastructure. The entire argument that you have hinges upon that this is all somehow infrastructure, that your friends' solar power companies are somehow infrastructure, that all of these companies that have to do with alternative energy that can't compete in the open and free markets, quasi-free, that can't compete in the free market, that this is all somehow part of infrastructure when it's not. And the blue city bailout, all of these cities that saw massive crime increases due to the fact, I had a number of stories that I was talking about in a different post for the newsletter, chapter and verse, where you have different Chicago prosecutors dropping all kinds of charges for repeat offenders, et cetera, and different cities across the country. One of the things that they all had in common was they had a weak justice system, and they had super progressive judges and dippy prosecutors that no one wanted to pursue actual repeat offenders. Instead, they just want to disarm you. And then of course you see the crime wave when they refuse to absolutely at all enforce the law, and they just allow these people who are engaged in rioting either off with a wrist slap if they were committing arson, or just out entirely, like we saw in St. Louis. And you're shocked that this creates an environment where crime is allowed to just multiply ad nauseum? Really? Because those are the cities that Democrats are demanding get a bailout in the name of funding police in the American whatever plan. Except it's not anything about funding police. And that doesn't have anything to do with infrastructure. And that's not the federal government's job. I mean, we could go on. It's an idiotic plan.